Oh, I could go on forever about the glories of golf in Ireland, especially the seaside links courses. Most anywhere you go on the Emerald Isle, you're not far from a world-class links golf course. And of all the areas in Ireland, my favorite is Northwest Ireland. I love flying into either Dublin or Shannon, the two big airports in Ireland. Dublin's on the east coast, Shannon's in the southwest. Getting in a rental car, putting on Irish talk radio, which I could listen to forever, and driving up to Northwest Ireland, particularly for two incredible golf courses. Ennis Golf Club and Carne Golf Links. Both feature some of the most dramatic, towering sand dunes on earth. And the courses there are both thrilling. And both Ennis and Carne owe their birth to the godfather of Irish golf course architects, Eddie Hackett. Eddie Hackett was born in Dublin in 1910, and as a boy he was diagnosed with tuberculosis, and the doctor recommended playing golf, which I think is the greatest doctor recommendation of all time. If I was a kid and the doctor prescribed golf, I would have dropped out of school and played golf every day. You know, the truant officer would show up at the course, and I'd say, hey man, sorry, doctor's orders. You mind getting the pin? And so young Eddie Hackett took to golf and even became a golf professional. He made his living as a club professional, working at several golf courses before ending up at Portmarnock, just north of Dublin, one of the great golf clubs and golf courses in the world. He didn't come to course architecture until later in his life. In the 1950s, he started working with a design firm, and it wasn't until 1967 when his first solo design, Letterkenny in County Donegal, came to be. But from there, he just created one magnificent gem after another, especially in the west of Ireland, Waterville in southwest Ireland, and up at the top, Ballyliffin, which is one of my favorite places to play, Rosapenna, which is wonderful. You move south to Donegal, to Merva, in this lovely, beguiling Irish town. Go down to Ross's Point, again, a wonderful place to play golf. And then, of course, you have Ennis and Carne, which are the epitome of his golf course architectural style. He believed in not moving much land and letting the land dictate where the hole should go. You know, in Northwest Ireland particularly, the land is just magnificent and lends itself to great golf courses. And thankfully, he just got out of the way, had very small professional crew, used a lot of local labor to do some of the hard work, and they just created these wonderful gems to play the ancient game. Just natural and fun and thrilling. And these courses look like they've been there for hundreds of years, which is just testament to how great Eddie Hackett was. Oh my word, do I love Ennis Golf Club. I love the whole area. It's one of the most beautiful spots on the globe. Ennis is just south of the town of Sligo and just north of Ballina. It's about 2.5 hours from Shannon Airport to the south and about 3.5 hours from Dublin Airport in the east. And it's well worth the drive to get there. It's gorgeous. The golf is fantastic. And it's just so beautiful. And by the way, the Killala Bay is where the River Moy empties into the North Atlantic. And if there were beauty pageants for rivers, the River Moy would win it every year. It's this beautiful, meandering river with some of the greatest fishing in the world. So while you come to Ennis for the golf, there's a whole lot more. And the golf at Ennis is thrilling. Eddie Hackett came to Ennis in the early 70s, and the course opened in 1974 with Eddie Hackett hitting the first shot. They brought in Donald Steele in the late 1990s to create 6 holes through some of the more dramatic dunes that weren't part of Eddie Hackett's original design. And the result is the Dunes course. It's one of the great places to play in the world. You basically tee off on the flatland right by the clubhouse, and then you just march off into the dunes. And it's just one thrilling hole after another. And it's joyous links golf. There's dells and hollows and giant dunes, and you're kind of secluded from hole to hole because the dunes are so big. My favorite hole is the 9th hole. It's the farthest point away from the clubhouse. It parallels the water. It's called Killmore Beach right there on Killala Bay, and that's also where the estuary is for the River Moy. It's a classic Eddie Hackett par 4, about 395 yards. You just try to get your drive down the fairway, and then there's these 3 evil cross bunkers right in front of the green, which is set into a sand dune, and the green is pitched. It's just all the golf you want. And then the par 4 10th after that parallels the beach, and then you cut back into these amazing dunes, just one great hole after another. Oh, I just love golf there so much. Green fees are about $160 depending on the exchange rate, so make the trip to Ennis Dunes and play the Dunes course. And Eddie Hackett perhaps saved the best for last. His piece de resistance of all his golf courses could well be Carne Golf Links in Belmullet in County Mayo. It's the farthest northwest corner of Ireland. And you get to the sleepy little town of Belmullet, and just north of town is Carne Golf Links, and it's 27 holes. The dunes there are just incredible. I mean, they dwarf even the dunes of Ennis Dunes. They can be 60, 70, 80 feet high, perhaps more. They look like big, giant, hairy, woolly mammoths. And Eddie Hackett just designed this wondrous 18 holes there that you have to play. And there's now 27 holes at Carne, but it's the 18 he designed, which is called the Hackett course, which is it's wondrous. It's just so fantastic and showcases what made Eddie Hackett such a great golf course designer. The front 9 is the lower part of the dunes, and you hit off from the clubhouse, and the fairways are pretty broad. The greens are often set in dells that are raised a little bit, and it's joyous golf. And I love the views from the front 9. You get to see the town of Belmullet there just to the south, and then the back 9 puts it into overdrive. It's in the highest dunes, some of the most magnificent sand dunes you're ever gonna see. I mean, giant, probably 100 feet, who knows? I mean, they're just mammoth. They even dwarf those of Ennis Dunes. My favorite hole is the 17th, on top of the property. It's a stout par 4, about 400 yards. There's not a level lie in the fairway. It just rips and bumps and bubbles, and you just hit it out there. And there's only one bunker on the hole just left of the green, and it's where your ball wants to go. It's maddening, but it's one of the great par 4s in the game. And then on 18, it's on top of the hill again, and you play straight down. It's like a roller coaster through the dunes, a par 5 that ends near the clubhouse, and what an exceptional way to finish one of the great golf courses in the world. And if all of that isn't enough, Carne Golf Club built a new 9 in 2013 called the Killmore 9. And it's up on the top, but just by the back side of the Hackett Links. And again, it goes through some of the biggest dunes in the world and uses a lot of Eddie Hackett's techniques, in that, they just let the land be the land. It's raw and untamed. And it's just 27 holes of the highest order. To me, it's about as much fun as golf can possibly be. Green fees at Carne are $130 or so, depending on the exchange rate. Get to Northwest Ireland. It's some of the greatest golf in the world. See you next time on Half Clubs Will Travel. Hey, thanks.